How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Red Zone Blitz. Dave from Wake Up It's Football here. You got James from James Carter TV.
What's up?
And today we're going to break down the divisional round games for you, give our opinion and who we think will win. So let's get right into things. You got the Ravens at the Broncos. It's a rematch of Week 15 where the Broncos defeated the Ravens 34-17. James, what are your thoughts on this matchup?
Well, you see, with this matchup, everybody wants to pick the Denver Broncos. I say let's hold on a little bit. There is a huge chance that the Baltimore Ravens can beat the Denver Broncos. And I look back to last week. I look back to Joe Flacco and how well he played and how well he has played for the past 5 years in the playoffs. This man knows when it is time to step up, and it is time to step up in the playoffs, and he's done that again and again. And I think that he's finally ready to take his team to that Super Bowl. And in order to get there, they're going to have to be the best team in the AFC. And I understand the Broncos appear to have the perfect combination between offense and defense. You have the offense, Peyton Manning, who's once again playing like the best quarterback in the league next to Aaron Rodgers. And you have the defense with Dumerville and Miller and Champ Bailey and Tracy Porter and all those boys. And you think this Broncos team is unbeatable. Well, it seems like every year the team that is the first seed is unbeatable, and yet they somehow get beat. I think that's going to happen once again, this time in the AFC.
Well, I'm going to have to disagree with you. I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos, and I've hinted at this a little bit in the last couple episodes of the Red Zone Blitz, where I've said that the Broncos are the team to beat in the AFC, and I think they're going to continue that. I think they're going to go to the AFC Championship game. They're going to defeat the Baltimore Ravens, and I'm pretty sure it was a Broncos win. Wasn't it in Baltimore in Week 15? I can't remember for sure, but they did defeat the Ravens once already. They have the blueprint to do it, and they have arguably the best quarterback to do it in the league, being Peyton Manning. I just don't see the Ravens overcoming that strong Denver defense. Von Miller has shown to be a monster. I think, like you mentioned, they have the perfect combination right now on offense and defense to do what they do to overcome the Ravens this week in Denver.
Well, yeah, I can understand where you're coming from. Like I said, a lot of people are going to go with the Broncos. You can call me crazy for going with the Baltimore Ravens. But I just think that Joe Flacco is going to find a way to get it done. I think that this Baltimore Ravens defense, with Ray Lewis in there leading them, maybe not bringing the production, but bringing the leadership definitely is what brings them over the top for me.
And I'm not going to disagree, just because I think this year we've seen with the 8 teams that are remaining, I think they all have a good shot at making a strong push into their conference championships, and even a Super Bowl run. I think all 8 teams are capable of doing that, but I'm going to pick the Broncos. I think they're favored right now in the AFC.
All right. Well, next we move on to the NFC for a little bit. We have the Green Bay Packers visiting the San Francisco 49ers. The Packers beat the Minnesota Vikings quite easily, 24-10. It really should have been 24-3, but Joe Webb got a lucky touchdown at the end of the game. Now, for me, I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers. I really do think that the Green Bay Packers are Super Bowl bound at this point in time. I think Aaron Rodgers is once again playing as the best quarterback in the NFL. And I think that the defense has been a little shaky, but will be good enough to get the job done at Candlestick. I'm going with the Green Bay Packers.
And I'm going to go with the Packers as well. And the reason why I'm going to pick them is I believe they're getting healthy at the right time. You saw the impact that Charles Woodson had last week. Granted, he only had 4 tackles, but the tackles that he had on Adrian Peterson, no one else was going to make on that defense. Watching the last 2 matchups between the Packers and the Vikings, everyone was scared of AP. Everyone was scared to tackle him, and Charles Woodson did not play in either game. So when you saw him last week, he stepped up, wrapped up AP on a handful of tackles, and I like to see that. But ultimately, the entire team is getting healthy. So going into San Francisco, I've talked to some 49ers fans after the first loss that the Packers suffered in Week 1. I told them we're going to see each other in the playoffs again, and mark my words, the Packers are going to beat the Niners. So I'm going to stick to that. I'm going to pick the Green Bay Packers over the Niners to go to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, well, no one likes 49ers fans anyway.
All right, let's shift gears here. You've got the Seahawks at the Falcons in Atlanta. These two teams did not play each other. This is the only matchup in this divisional round where it's not a rematch. So, James, who you got?
Okay, now I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons, and I know everybody's gonna bring up, well, Matt Ryan. He's a little in playoff games. He hasn't won one during his career, and he's been in three. He's 0 for 3 right now. But I go back and I say, wait a minute, let's see who he lost to. He lost to the Arizona Cardinals, who won the NFC Championship, who went on to the Super Bowl, and were tiptoes away from winning that Super Bowl. Then who'd they lose to? Oh, they lost to the Green Bay Packers, won the Super Bowl. They lost to the New York Giants, won the Super Bowl. Now who knows? Maybe the Seattle Seahawks are going to win the Super Bowl, and that can go on the list of resume. But me personally I think that Matt Ryan, who has marginally improved from last year, is going to get it done for his team. There's absolutely no reason why he shouldn't be able to do it. He has all the weapons to do it. He has the offensive line to do it. It's just time for him mentally to finally get it done. In the playoffs, it doesn't all rely on the quarterback, but as long as your quarterback is doing a good job, you have a good chance of winning the game. And I think that's going to be the difference between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. I'm not saying that Russell Wilson is going to have a bad game. I just think that Matt Ryan is going to have a better one in what will be a high-scoring contest.
And I can't disagree with anything you said. I 100% agree with everything you just said. So that's why I'm picking the Falcons. I think Matt Ryan's going to come out, perform well, and finally get over that hump. Now, looking at the Seahawks, they're more of a ground and pound team when it comes to the offense. I believe they're ranked 29th in the pass game. Compared to the Falcons, they're the complete opposite. They're a pass-heavy team, and the run is secondary to them. So it's really going to come down to, I believe, the offenses. How Matt Ryan performs against that strong physical Seattle secondary, and then how the Seattle the Seattle offense pounds away at that Atlanta defense. But I like Matt Ryan's chances at home. He has improved drastically this season, and I'm going to pick them at home to beat the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, I disagree with. I agree with you there. Just gotta go the Atlanta Falcons all the way, and let's move on to the last game, where we have the Houston Texans, facing the New England Patriots. Now let me go a little in on the Houston Texans, okay? This is my thing. The Houston Texans won what was the most unimpressive playoff wins I've seen in a very long time, ladies and gentlemen. The only thing that was impressive about that game when it comes to the Houston Texans was Arian Foster and a little J.J. Watt. Besides that, and a little Jonathan Joseph, but besides that, and mainly I'm talking to you, Matt Schaub, you and your balding haircut. I'm talking to you. You gotta, come on, grow a set, okay? Stop throwing to your little tight ends on the little crossing routes, little play action crap, and stop hurling it up to Andre Johnson. Show me that you got some skill in the shotgun. I haven't seen that from you ever. Alright? You got your first playoff win. Congratulations. Now you're facing the big boys. You're facing the New England Patriots. And Bill Belichick is going to stop those tight ends of yours. He's going to borrow up your running game with Vince Wilfork. I'm telling you, man, Vince Wilfork is going to get about 20 big mats before that game. He's going to be ready for that game. Matt Schaub, I want to see you win this game. I don't think you're going to do it. Prove me wrong for once in your life. Let's see what you got. But I'm going with the New England Patriots. I just think Tom Brady's ready to go to the AFC Championship once again, and I don't think he's going to be stopped.
And again, I'm not going to disagree with you. As comical as that was, I'm going to go with the Patriots. Week 14, they had their showdown. It was 42-4. It was a 42-14 win for the New England Patriots over the Texans, and they really exploited the Texans in a number of ways in that game. But it is in Foxborough, and it is the Patriots. And when you play the Patriots in Foxborough in the playoffs, I don't want to say it's impossible to win, but it's pretty hard to win in Foxborough in the playoffs against Tom Brady, who has three Super Bowl rings. He's been to 5 Super Bowls, and he could go to a 6th this year. So I see, in my opinion, a Broncos Patriots showdown, a Peyton Manning Tom Brady showdown in the AFC Championship game. It's gotta be. It's gonna be a classic. I think it's gonna be a classic in the AFC Championship game. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, 2 guys who are at the end of their careers to really make a last run at that Super Bowl ring. So I'm gonna go Patriots over Texans. I think Schaub has a few more years to do what he needs to do. I'm gonna go Patriots in this one.
I agree with you there.
All right, so that's all we got. Let us know what you guys think. Throw down in the comments below. Who do you have winning these 4 matchups? Subscribe to Wake Up It's Football. Subscribe to James Carter TV. And we should be bringing you guys another episode of the Red Zone Blitz next week. With that, we're out.